Do I look sick to you?
You're in a hospital bed, Richard.
The Professor is a quirky comedy of sorts. Stark, enchanting, funny, tragic. It's rare to see comedies that tackle the subject of death.
Accepting one's mortality and the fact that we are going to die shouldn't be a depressing thing.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I have cancer. I'm supposed to wear sunglasses in unusual places.
I fell in love with the profound irreverence of the finality of life.
Oh.
The story is so moving and the characters deep and interesting and complex. It's excited my imagination and inspired me to celebrate life.
Let us live well so that we may fucking die well.
I was at a concert and somebody's cell phone went off, and it just kind of pissed me off, the audacity that they actually had their phone still on. And that sort of led to, well, it led to this. What brought me from that point to where we now are is really projecting the best and the worst of myself 15 years in the future, and that is Richard. So I saw myself going down a particular path that I knew was not going to lead to fulfillment. So I changed a great deal about my life. I still used to what the situation was for Richard.
It doesn't look good, Richard. In fact, to be quite frank, it looks pretty bad.
The film is about a professor who is teaching English at a prestigious liberal arts college who is diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and really just given a handful of months to live. And through that diagnosis, he decides to sort of break himself out of the prison that he's been in for a good number of years and just really sort of embrace life for all that it is and all that it could be. I think the quality of one's film is actually entirely dependent upon the cast. So we really lucked out with the cast that we were able to bring together.
Johnny's got a bit of a rock star presence to himself, so it's a little intimidating, but he goes the extra mile to try to diffuse that a little bit, you know, come over and have lovely things to say, and that goes a long way.
Johnny's just so alive and present and real in every moment. It's so brilliant to be in the scene with someone who is so kind of almost animalistic in the way that something's going to happen in every moment. You just don't know what. It's just everything is alive and present and real.
Would anyone else like to go and grab a drink and escape this emotional circle jerk? What about you? You might need a drink or two.
Richard, I've got cancer.
So do I. Well, best of luck with your impending deaths.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
The terminal diagnosis makes everything come into focus of like what's important, what's not important.
It opens his eyes to the preciousness of time and the preciousness of life, and it also gives him the freedom to take the filter off and tell everybody what he really thinks.
Jesus fucking Jesus! Jesus!
Johnny Depp is a total comic acting genius, and it's been really fun to see him. It's really been fun to watch.
The tone of the script, it's very comedic and sharp and witty.
Accepting one's mortality shouldn't be a depressing thing. I mean, it's just a simple fact of life. And I think if you accept that, not only accept that, but if you embrace that, you can best live.
Just within that, whether it's those lines or whether it's just like slowing it down a bit.
Anytime a writer-director produces a funny script that makes me laugh, I just feel like, well, you're good. Because then you're gonna be a director that understands funny, and you're gonna be in the editing room and you're gonna pick the funnier stuff, you know?
His pacing is the most important thing. He's hands-on, coming in and molding the scene kind of directly to what we're doing.
He's right there to add an extra beat or an extra line of dialogue which works with what we've been doing, but also has his eye on the ball, and so there are times when maybe we wander off a little bit too far, so he'll rein us back in.
Wayne and Johnny's relationship's kind of amazing to watch them collaborating in such a kind of a beautiful way of just, let's find magic. It's not about just getting the scene, let's find the magic in the scene.
The performances will always trump everything else. So it's really whether or not the performance is truthful, and if it's honest, and that's the most important thing.
I also have something I'd like to say.
I can't wait.
I'm having an affair. Veronica is married to Richard. I've been living in a really unhappy marriage for a really long time. It's a bit of a hate-hate relationship in the beginning.
There was a genuine love that exists between Richard and Veronica, and it's one that has not died. It's just the relationship has taken a different course over the years, and they've learned to sort of embrace the demise of the relationship, but the love is still there. They're just doing it in their own terms.
Do you know, if I could go back in time, I don't even know what it is I'm supposed to fix. I think there was a make it or break it time in their marriage where they needed to invest and go deeper. You know, once the drug of falling in love and then the drug of moving in together and having a baby. And, you know, there's all these milestones. Like, what happens when you check off all the boxes? Do you keep fighting for the relationship? And then they never did it. They just did the best that they could. And I think there's something really moving to me.
It happened. And then they woke up one day, 30 years later or what have you, and realized, hey, our lives are behind us. That's the message of the movie, right? Is to try and be present and actually live in the day-to-day, because it's very easy to close your eyes and you wake up and it's gone.
What's going on?
Your mom broke a lamb.
Their dynamic is amazing together. They really have this cadence about how they act that's phenomenal to watch and be a part of. In scenes with the three of us, I find myself kind of just being really like a tennis match, you know, excited about watching them do their thing.
Johnny Depp is very improvisational, so we did change things at times, but it's nice when it's on the page. Like, the script just really worked, and it was really nice to then move into finding the love by the end of it, because the beginning was just mean, and even our improvs were mean. And then there's a softness to it.
Please, try and find some happiness.
I'm working on it. Anyone like midlife probably relates to this. You know, did you go for it in this lifetime? Are there things you have to say goodbye to? Are there things that you can still go for in terms of being happy? And I remember thinking, like, if we could accomplish this in this film, that would be really something.
Tell me, Richard, do you like fish?
No. I mean, to eat sometimes, but outside of that, no. No, I don't.
I believe men could learn a lot from fish.
That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard.
I play Henry. He's the president of the college. A little bit of a puffed up buffoon. I'm technically Richard's boss. I'm having an affair with his wife. It seems like a highly disrespectful thing to do to someone that works for you. Henry kind of represents the everything needs to fit in its place. We're going to do it the way that it's always been done. You know, it's the sort of blinders on philosophy of life. So it kind of provides a foil to what Johnny gets to do with the, let's take the blinders off and open it up and just jettison all that garbage, you know? I think that's the fundamental dynamic of the movie.
Why are you and Mom still together?
Yeah. That's a rather odd question.
No, it's not.
Olivia is going through a bit of a tough time. Her parents aren't exactly being the pillars of support that she needs them to be. Olivia has a wisdom to her where she's able to watch the little things that may have happened in their lives that have been allowed to grow into the less admirable personality traits. And I think part of her arc is going from rejecting those qualities about them, these kind of bitter feelings of resentment, to a more accepting and understanding perspective on their relationship.
Dad, are you okay?
I'm sick of it.
Are you gonna be okay?
No.
I hadn't played anyone like her before. She's very kind of guarded, keeps to herself, and when she loses it, she loses it, you know.
The relationship Richard has with his daughter is quite wonderful because he accepts her and loves her profoundly, and she in turn is able to say goodbye to him without attachment, which is quite a poignant way of telling that story between father and daughter.
It's a film about death and aging and loss and regret, and I think within that landscape, she's got this sense of hope about her that's important in a movie that's about something that most people find so tragic.
There's something to celebrate.
What's that? You got cancer too?
No, I do not. Why do you keep saying that? I play a character called Peter. I'm a professor. I'm possibly Richard's best friend. My life is quite conventional and conservative. So Richard has this flair which is contagious. I see in him a light, a freedom, an irreverence, which possibly I would like to have. And the concept that I'm going to lose that makes the loss all the greater.
But I don't want to go. No. We're having fun. You're behaving like a troll. You gotta go.
My character, I think, would love to leave everything behind and just join Richard and go on a fantastic road trip. But it's his death, not mine. And I stay behind, but in doing so, maybe I see life differently.
Richard, I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, Peter, if I'm able.
They cast it really beautifully. There were a lot of surprises that really worked. I think Danny Houston is one of them.
I play lots of villains, and I relish playing them. But this guy is a bit of a sort of softy, and there's a profound love between these two men, and I've never really read anything like it.
Feel great. You guys feel good? Yeah.
Wayne Roberts created a personal story, and he's just struck a chord for me. And Wayne very much encourages us to try to experience the characters as we would, and that's possibly why he cast us, because he thought that we could bring something to it. We have, in a sense, become the author of our characters. Richard, you're looking rather sprite.
I just had unprotected sex.
My experience with Johnny Depp was love at first sight. I don't really know if we're playing into what's required for the characters of the piece or whether it's truly heartfelt, but at the moment it feels absolutely real. There's real freedom, and Wayne encourages that freedom with the dialogue as well as how the scene is written, so we can really make it our own and play with it, and keeps this relationship between the two men fresh.
He trusts you that whatever decision you make, just keep trusting your instincts. And you can feel that from every actor. Like, they're not scared to be alive in the moment and to create real characters.
The process of working with them has been really quite seamless and really damn nice. I mean, just a great deal of joy is felt on set when you're working with your actors and when you're finding that wave together.
Who are you? Why should we know you? What do you want to do with your life?
My uncle is the president of the school.
Ew.
I think my character Claire is really drawn to Richard's bravery, that he's so unabashedly himself, that there is no filter. I would imagine initially there's a certain element of jealousy, because she watches him with sort of, why can't I be like that? Why can't I just do what I want to do without regret, without fear of judgment from other people and of yourself? And then it sort of morphs into this just like deep love and appreciation.
Zoe does so much work behind the scenes and then brings the characters to life in front of your eyes and is always present to give you anything you need in a moment.
I've got an idea. How about we put a little pause to this ship and we go down to the bar and we can run over it there.
Students, who are a big character in the film, are maybe bored with conventional ways of teaching, and suddenly they're dealing with this guy who's so crazy that they can't even get close to being as crazy as he is, and he brings some sort of joy into learning, and so he inspires them.
May we forever remember that in each and every moment we are composing the stories of our lives.
He takes all of us students under his wing and kind of explores what it means to be something more than just what society tells you to be. What he keeps telling his students is, if you're going to live once, make sure it's a story worth telling.
Angels. What? Here's angels. Sing it.
No, that's the a cappella group, Richard.
Makes you laugh, it makes you cry. And that's what you would hope art can do.
There's a line in the script that basically says, don't hope for a better tomorrow, actually make it a better tomorrow. And for that to be delivered in as eloquent a way as Wayne was able to deliver it, it's amazing.
It's a miracle in the fact that we're all even here to begin with. And we should just appreciate life. Forever long or brief it's going to be.
I think Dante is in the middle of the journey of your life, you find yourself in a dark wood where you feel trapped And a lot of these characters in the story have tried to be conventional and to do what's conventionally right. But then if the Dante quote continues and he says, I look up and then I beheld the stars, because he's lost his way, so he looks up and the stars to tell him which way to go. And that's where Richard puts a mirror up to us and we see who we are through his eyes. And he makes us question our existence in a simple way, but with the complex repercussions.